Welcome back, this is Chef Lau and this is Cooking at Home with New Zealand Creamery. I'm gonna cook something that's quite familiar with you guys, but I'm gonna do it in a totally different application. I'm talking about cheesy pimiento. You know, when we were young, we would like to spread that with our sandwich, you know, the cheesy pimiento. But this time, I'm actually gonna cook it as a soup, you know, cheesy pimiento soup. Of course, we're gonna use CHE-VITAL cheddar cheese, pimientos, and red bell peppers. Now, what's the difference between red bell peppers and pimientos? Pimientos are actually sweeter a bit than red bell peppers, but we're actually using both, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna slice the bell peppers, and the pimientos, you just slice it in half and take out the seeds. Now, all you need to do is just put this on top of your grill. You can actually roast your pimientos or red bell pepper on top of an open fire, on open flame. And you wanna grill it or roast it until it becomes like this. The reason why you wanna roast your pimientos, bell peppers, actually it's also called capsicum, by the way. When you do this, you actually make it taste even sweeter. So now, what I need to do is, you just wanna cut it. Now, you can also take out the skin after you grill it, but since I'm gonna puree this anyway, I'm not gonna bother taking out the skin. Now, I'm gonna just melt a little bit of Queensland butter. Then I'm gonna saute some garlic. You just mince it. And also some onions. You don't wanna brown the garlic or onions, you just wanna sweat it. Then I'm gonna put some of this nice grilled bell peppers and pimientos. Then at this point, I'm gonna season it with some salt and pepper, freshly ground pepper of course. You just cook this for a few minutes, and then we're gonna pour some chicken stock so it will nicely simmer and cook. This is very flavorful. It has the bones, the meat, and you can also use chicken feet as well. And all you do is put water and you just boil it for like more than an hour, preferably like at least 2 hours to extract the flavor from your chicken bones. The longer you simmer it, the more flavorful your stock would be. It's as simple as that. So we're just gonna pour, see that? It's nice chicken stock. So you just bring this to a boil and then you just simmer it down. While we're waiting for it to boil, we're gonna make roux. Roux is basically butter and flour because I want the consistency of our soup to be a little bit thick, and we're gonna use here Queensland butter. So all you need to do is melt the butter. So it's very important, the amount of butter that you put, you only put half of the flour. So you add it slowly at a time. That's around 2 tablespoons. So you just want to mix it. So you want to let this butter and flour mixture cook for like 5 minutes at least, because you want to cook out the flour taste. But you have to be careful not to cook it so long, because you want a light colored or pale colored roux. As you can see, it's still pale, but the floury taste is not there anymore, so we just set this aside. Now, what I'm gonna do with our soup is I'm gonna puree it. Now, there are many ways of pureeing your food. You can use a blender, or if you have this gadget here, this is called an immersion blender or a handheld blender, which is very, very convenient because you don't need to transfer your hot soup to the blender because sometimes it's dangerous, and sometimes, you know, when you put a hot food in your blender, when you turn it on, sometimes it just explodes. So this is actually an easier way of pureeing your food or blending your food. Just be careful because it's still gonna splash a little bit. So now you can see our soup has that nice orangey reddish color from the pimientos and the bell peppers. As you notice, the soup is actually a little bit thicker now since we pureed or blended all these nice roasted pimientos, but still it's quite loose. So right now, if you check the consistency, it's somehow a little bit thick, but you can see it's still very runny. Now, we're gonna add our roux. I'm just gonna add half of the roux first. And let's see if this would actually thicken it enough. As you can tell, the soup is actually getting thicker already. Wow, see that? At this point, your soup is fairly thick, still a bit runny, but fairly thick compared to the original one. This is the time we add the cheddar cheese. The reason why I chose CHE-VITAL cheddar cheese, because it's very savory. This will really complement with our pimientos. Wow, look at that. Those nice cheesy bites. Okay, now we can taste this soup. Interesting. The first thing you taste is the cheese, and then slowly you get the flavor of the roasted pimientos and the bell peppers. It has the right amount of saltiness, savoriness, because remember, cheddar cheese is a bit salty already, okay? So all we need to do at this point is garnish this with some fresh herbs. Here we have parsley. This is a flat leaf Italian parsley. You can use curly parsley or any fresh herbs. Basil will also do well with this. So you want to just bunch your herbs like this so it's easier to chop, and that's it. You don't need to, chop this a million times because you're just gonna destroy the herb. You want to preserve those nice essential oils, and then just garnish with freshly chopped parsley. Wow. So this soup is fantastic to be served by itself, or you can serve it with bread. Nice toasted bread, or even better, garlic bread. So again, this is cheesy pimiento soup using Queensland butter and CHE-VITAL cheddar cheese. Thank you so much. This is Chef Lau, and this is Cooking at Home with New Zealand Creamery.